Before I start anything new, there's this moment when doubt creeps in. And in those moments, I ask myself one question: where is Dairy Queen? No, I'm just kidding. I ask, what would my dogs do? I could probably look back to every single project I've ever worked on and find a moment where I tried my best to convince myself that I couldn't do it, that I shouldn't do it, that I'd be better off if I didn't do it, it'd be a whole lot easier not to do it. And even within those projects, every single part of those projects, there's doubt. There's always this doubt. Every book I've made, every event I've hosted, and I can't imagine the amount of things that I didn't do because I let that doubt win. And I can't imagine also the quality that my projects would be if I hadn't spent so much time entertaining that doubt. If this was a science video, I would tell you about the amygdala, this almond-shaped cluster of nuclei in the center of your brain. So it's like our fear response. We see a spider, it says, that's not good, run away. We see a lion that says, that's not good, run away. And 2/3 of this thing, of the amygdala, is scanning for threats at all times. Mine works very well, and maybe yours does too, and you're relating to this in some way, and you're wondering about all the things that you could have done with your time had you not given into that fear response. Honestly, what I would give to go back to those moments of sitting in that fear, immovable, doing nothing, where, man, had I just kind of jumped into it, I'd be so much farther ahead by now. And today I'm asking myself the question, what would my dogs do in this situation, in this doubt, in this fear? They're always like ready to go out the door. They're ready to run, give it 100%. You ever throw a ball for a dog and then do it again, 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 and then you're getting tired of throwing the ball, and your dog is giving 100% of their effort every single time, no matter how big their tongue gets? That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy that I'm talking about. There's no doubt they might get the ball in the face and still try 100% next time. And I love that. I mean, I first saw that in Momo when I had Momo, my last dog, my first dog. He was incredibly resilient. He would give everything he had to that chase. And that inspired me to start this project a long time ago called Be More Like Your Dog. What does it mean to be more like your dog? I wanted to embody these characteristics. I loved it. I saw my inherent negative bias, and I also saw my desire to be a better person. Maybe we all have those both things in balance at all times. We want to be better, but we also have this fear, this doubt, this active or overactive amygdala, right? So here I am today, and I want to talk about Be More Like Your Dog because that's the project, the thing that I'm like, okay, this is the thing that I could do. I started it and I had energy for it, but I lost energy for it when Momo died because I really felt that it was my project with him. But there's also this, like, I was using that as an excuse to not do the thing that I'm afraid to do. And why am I afraid to do this thing? And what is this thing? Well, let me tell you. Well, I'm afraid of it because I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of looking like an idiot. Maybe it'll fail and I'll look like an idiot. I'm afraid of success. What if it does really well and I sell a bunch of things and I think, oh man, I'm just adding to the Great Atlantic Garbage Patch. This isn't good. There are so many reasons that I could find not to do something. And there's probably an equal amount of reasons I could find to do it. And it's almost as if I have a choice as to which one to focus on. You know, I could entertain that pile of shouldn'ts. That, oh, what if you fail? What if the world doesn't need a new brand anyways, Andrew? Literally making anything is wasteful and convincing myself otherwise is like a form of self-greenwashing. What if it's not as cool as I think? What if I look uncool doing it? What if I launch this thing and I sell 10 sweaters and it fizzles into oblivion and I prove to myself that I suck? What if it really does well and I can't keep up with it? And then, you know, I could entertain the should side of things. What if it does well and I can keep up with it? What if spreading this little innocuous message actually has an impact on like one person? What if the project does well enough to organize events and get people excited about going outside, and there's that completely unquantifiable impact that's really the most worthwhile thing in the world? What if all of that happens and the project still looks like it failed? Isn't it still worth it? Isn't it worth trying for that reason alone? Isn't failure also success? And like, all of these are very human thoughts. And that's why I love the idea of asking what your dog would do, because I think it's so much simpler that way. You shut off all that negativity and all that negative bias and you just go ahead and try it. Why not? What if I look like an idiot? It doesn't matter. In 100 years, no one will remember me. This video is brought to you by Boo's Rear Dew Claw and the joy that these things bring me. There's one on each of his hind legs. These are rare. They're not on every dog. Let's see what other people have to say about Boo's Rear Dew Claw.
I like Boo's weird dew claws because they're floppy and funny. Boo's rear dew claws is floppy.
I keep thinking back to the last photography book that I made, Let's Find Yaya and Boo at Home. And I think about every single one of these scenes that I shot. And you can ask my friend Jen, who helped me make it. I had so much doubt in each one of these, so much fear that it would suck. And looking back at these, like, I'm so stoked about these photos. I can't taste the doubt that I used to taste. I could even look at this very YouTube channel, which may fizzle away, which may get 100 views, because I have so much fear and doubt that this won't work. But it really doesn't matter. And you know what else is, I've been going out with my camera specifically to shoot for this channel, and I found myself like smiling through the woods, giddy about the things I was filming. It just ignited something in me that I haven't felt in a long time about creating things. There's so much to be said about just going ahead with it, just trying, just putting your effort into it. Because if the opposite of that is just sitting here in my chair with my nice view in my apartment, and letting this doubt embody me, and what am I gonna do with that doubt? Scroll Instagram? So my other choice is to make this video, to launch this Be More Like Your Dog project again, which I should talk a little bit more about that. What is Be More Like Your Dog? Be More Like Your Dog is an idea. It's just living a little better, living outside, being more compassionate, being excited to get out there. But it depends on what kind of dog you have, of course. Be More Like Your Dog applies to every dog except beagles. Is your dog lazy all day? Is your dog super adventurous and energetic like mine? That's how I want to live my life. I would like to see it become events. I would like to see it become collaborations with other creators. I'd like to see it be just an idea. So Be More Like Your Dog, a bit of a mouthful, but a pretty simple and straightforward message, unless your dog is a beagle. And it is at the heart of this channel, and it is at the heart of what makes my life so good these days, and getting outside and going on adventures and jumping in lakes and swimming and getting fresh air first thing in the morning. These are things that I owe to my dogs, and I want to pay them forward a little bit. And I'm curious too, what do you love about your dog? What does your dog do that excites you? What do you want to emulate about them? What characteristics do you love so much about them? You're like, I want that. I want to embody that quality. Tell me. I want to hear. Yeah, and I guess I should plug my sweaters and t-shirts. This is one of the sweaters that I'm wearing, available now at BeMoreLikeYour.dog. I hope you'll spread the word a little with me. Part of the reason that I wanted to reignite this project is in honor of the dog that I started it with Momo. I made this book about him, about pet loss, about death, about life, about love. And this was another project where I was like, nope, can't do it. Too much doubt. I've never illustrated a book before. I've never written a children's book before. I've made a picture book, but to write something, that's terrifying. And I did it. And it's available. If you did lose a dog or know someone that did, It has brought tears to some people's eyes, and I know that tears are catharsis and healing in our complicated process of grieving, which I do want to make a video about at some point. Keeping the Be More Like Your Dog project alive for me is meaningful on so many different levels. And spreading that idea is important to me on all of these levels, on, remembering the dogs that we've lost, living better for them, taking stock of what we've learned from the dogs that are no longer with us, and not forgetting those things, because those are the things that keep them alive. And those likely are the things that make us who we are. And I think that's as good a note as any to end this video on. I hope you'll check out my Be More Like Your Dog stuff. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about next week. I have some ideas, but we'll see where we end up. So thanks for being here again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Boo's weird Duclaw is wiggly.
Wait, you say weird blue claws?
Yeah. I like Blue's weird Duclaws because it's weird and floppy.